Buffer, how's it going? Did you get any ads when you popped in on Twitch by chance? Cuz I think I figured out what's going on with the ad situation. Hey Dark, how's it going? It turns out if I disable ads, then Twitch will have you watch ads at the beginning of the stream. If I enable ads, Twitch will have you watch ads sometime during the stream. I think. I'm still trying to figure this out. But basically, it's your guys' fault because you keep showing up, and so Twitch is like, "Hey, people are watching you, so we need to give them ads." Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't think I can turn it off. I think they've changed how it works. So that kind of sucks because I have earned 4 cents off of the ads from last stream. It just doesn't seem worth it to like make it harder for people to come by and say hi. So I'm a little annoyed by that. I don't know what to do about it. Oh yes, I have made a decision for Briarthorn, my game. I have been fighting, and you guys, some of you have been here to witness it, but I have been playing around with C++, either using something like Raylib and my own implementation of basically handling all of the rendering, the game logic, the physics processing, the input handling, that kind of thing. Raylib doing a lot of that for me, but a lot of it I'm having to handle myself. We explored configuration, the ability to maybe script up a bunch of my game levels, styling, making the game look a certain way, because I definitely want that as part of my game, is to give the user the option to change how the game looks, because this game will be kind of UI focused. It's really going to be focused around this idea of having a almost like a cockpit display. And so I want to give you the option to tweak those settings. The ability to mod, having the ability to add your own features. Now, yeah, I mean, this is the first game I'm ever making. The scope's already way too big based on what I'm talking about. Who knows if it'll ever get released, but a guy can dream. And so, with all of this in mind, I have been struggling internally with the idea of having to write a lot of this from scratch or implementing it from scratch, knowing that tools exist that can do this for me. One such tool was Godot. And Godot was where I landed on when I went to get a demo up and running, which is what this screenshot was generated from. It was generated from Godot. I don't like Godot. Godot requires me to use their editor to do a lot of the editing. I have to like hunt and peck in the drop down menu. I have to in the property page, the editor isn't as nice as, while the editor is fairly nice for what it does, it just can't compete with editors specifically designed for programming like VS Code. So, with all of this in mind, and with my background and my experience, I have in fact decided to use Qt, and more specifically Qt Quick. Qt Quick QML. And there's a reason. There's a number of reasons. One, it runs on modern graphics. So we're talking Metal on Mac, Vulkan on Android and Linux, DirectX 12 on Windows, and the ability to pick and choose what you're going to render on, which is kind of nice. I like that. It supports software rendering just which is also nice if there's a, for whatever reason, a system that isn't able to use more modern graphics. I'm pretty certain it still supports OpenGL as well with a flag that I can set. So it supports a lot of capability out of the box. Two, I am super comfortable in the Qt ecosystem. It's what I would say 60 to 75% of my career has been in the Qt ecosystem in some form. Sometimes it might just be a GUI front end for modeling and simulation control. More recently with Qt Quick, it's been building displays. So I am, even if there is something I don't know how to do with Qt, I know how to like quickly read the documentation to understand it. I have had my head in the Qt code base itself. I know how to navigate the open source project Qt on GitHub in order to see how Qt does things. Because sometimes I might want to implement something a certain way, and I can be like, oh, hey, ad break started, 90 seconds. Are you guys seeing this? Are you guys getting an ad right now? I don't want to talk in the middle of an ad. Are you kidding me? Oh man, I gotta wait for a sec. Well, anyway, so Qt, I have a lot of experience with it. Open source, I know how to navigate the code base. I know how to figure out if there's any bugs with the code base and be able to patch the code base as I need. So just generally speaking, very comfortable with it. Three, I can use it inside VS Code. I do not need to use Qt Creator in order to do Qt development. So I know how to do that. Now it's a little more complicated to set up than say handing over the IDE for someone else. But for me, I know how to set all that up. And or I know how to fight with getting it set up. So I'm not too worried about that. Hey Juan, how's it going? Um so that's kind of where I'm leaning. Now, there's obviously going to be some pieces missing with the Qt Quick solution. There's not going to be a fixed time step. There's not going to be controller input handling. I'm assuming that also means that input handling won't work for a Steam Deck out of the box. So that means I will have to implement that. So there's still going to be some C++ I'm going to have to do to make this happen. It'll be easier for me to script up some game logic quickly in QML to determine the behavior, the gameplay that I want before I decide to move it into C++. And it's pretty quick and easy for me to get code up and running in C++ as well, especially compared to Godot, which kind of depended on the GD extension APIs to get rolled in, which to be fair, it wasn't that bad with Godot either. One of the downsides is going to be the maintenance of the libraries themselves. I have a couple of options. I can either install Qt from an installer. I am going to at least initially attempt to do it through VC Package because I'm a huge fan of VC Package and the automation it provides. I am concerned about build times in GitHub where I only have like a limited 2,000 minutes, but if I'm only developing a couple hours a night, I can probably pace how often I'm pushing up code. But that's kind of where I'm landing, is to use Qt. And so I want to try and get this demo piece up and running as quickly as possible. Which means I think there are two big pieces that I need to get implemented sooner than later, which is going to be the input handling, especially for gamepads, and then the timing loop, figuring out where I need to put that timing loop. So that is probably going to be my focus today, is making sure my project is set up. So I still got to get the project set up. And then maybe pulling in SDL3 for the gamepad APIs. Because my understanding is, especially recently, they also added support for the Steam controller that just came out. So I'm my understanding is SDL3 is like the de facto library to use to support gamepads. So that's what I want to make sure I can get up and running. Um, so with that, I don't think I have a reason not to just start going. So I think that's what I'm gonna do. So I have been running into some issues already right off the bat. So I'm like, all right, let's do this. And now I'm running into issues. But the issues appear to be with running my application versus actual any compilation issues. And this is probably more of a Windows problem than anything, because Windows can be a jerk like this. It's like it's failing to find my build. Yeah, so I just ran the application and nothing happened. Nothing popped up. I think in debug it was working. Maybe I'm misremembering. A quick rundown, just so you guys are aware, I am using VC package. I am using kind of an unstable commit of VC package right now to get access to Qt 6.11. So some of the issues I might run into might be because of that. And if that's the case, I will just swap back to an older version. Not a big deal. Okay, so it does build and debug. Doesn't run though. Hmm. Unknown, no module named Briarthorn. Okay, so that might be what's going on. So I have a module called, or I'm creating a module called Briarthorn.app. Oh, that's why. So I copied and pasted some of the exploration I did with the Awin game engine. Oh, the Awin game engine for C++ isn't going away either. In fact, I think Jamal, my guest from last time, might be joining me Friday to discuss Lua integration and what that might look like. So I still plan on using that as a platform to do C++, but I do want to make a game, and I need to like stop playing around and actually start making a game. Uh, okay, let's try this again. Awin.entity is not installed. Oh, I bet it's because nothing actually changed. So let's do a clean. Holy crap. I can already tell this is going to get annoying. I need to... is it cmake.configure on edit is false. cmake.configure on open is false. I will dictate when I decide cmake to run. No one else. Okay, one more try. Clean all projects. Clean. Configure. Day 3 of asking Monster to sponsor me. I will totally add their logo into my game loading screen. Without a question. Generating done. Build. Okay, that built. Let's try this again. Module all went. Oh, you know what? Because this isn't implemented yet. Put the logo on everything. I'll get a monster background for my desktop here. I'll just make sure everyone knows what I'm all about. Now, if at some point my heart explodes because I'm drinking too much Monster, that's okay as long as Monster still sponsors me. You guys don't see this, but it's working. Stand by. How do I show you guys what I'm working on? Is it this one? Oh, is the title wrong? Is that why? You guys are able to see that? Hell yeah, you are. Okay. All right, so we're just going to, I think we're just going to go ham and turn this into Briarthorn as quick as I can. No more goofing around. I think we also figured out how to, what did we figure out? We figured out how to do a hot reload with Awin at one point using QT, didn't we? Excuse me, didn't we? I feel like we did. I want to make sure release is still good. I'll use AI when I need to. I'm not opposed to using AI, but for me and the way I utilize AI, I do stress about having AI generate so much without my eyes on it, where it gets to a point like I get lazy, right? And when I get lazy, I'm like, it's working, it's good enough. And then when I go back and look at the code, it's not good enough. In fact, it's really bad. So the way I like to use AI is I like to figure out my architecture first. I like to figure out how I want to organize my data, how I want to test, how I want to process logic, what order of operations looks like, that kind of thing. And then just general coding standards and styles. So I want to get all of that into place. And if I can get like features going manually, that I'm happy with and that I can test and understand, then it becomes a lot easier for me to be like, hey, AI, add a missile feature that shoots, or like add a weapon to my aircraft that shoots. But that only works if I get the game architecture I want in place, so that when the AI goes to implement, it will adhere to how I write code. Because I don't want AI to write any kind of code. I want it to write the code I would have written. Because then it becomes a lot easier for me to debug and fix problems as they pop up. Cannot remove existing file. DLL. The process cannot... What? Do I have a background process running? I mean, I had many background processes running, but I don't know why. Cannot remove existing file. QML, Qt Quick, DLL, the process cannot access the file because it is being used by another process. Oh, there's some kind of race condition going on here, isn't there? Let me do this. Let's try this. I'm just going to nuke the build folder. Release, configure. Switching to VS Code just for the pets is a perfect excuse. I actually tried Zed today. I was actually going to show Zed off on stream and see if I can get it to go with QT. I didn't see a good path forward with it though. I think it still needs better support for extensions. So I might wait for Zed to become a little more robust. But it's pretty quick. And I like that it lets you like choose default key bindings. It'll let you pick between like VS Code or Sublime Text. I always liked Sublime Text key binding so much better. Oh, it's thinking. I'm not worried about falling behind on AI. I use AI for work. I'm not worried one bit. Oh my god, this is annoying. Here, you want to see me use AI? This is what I use AI for. I have an error. I think I know what's going on. I think there's some kind of process lock condition happening where it's trying to scan dependencies of my application, but it's not releasing it in time. And so if I had to guess, that's what this is going to tell me. Now, if it comes up with a solution, that would be great. I've not ran into this situation before, so I'm wondering if this is a Qt 611 issue versus something I'm doing wrong. The lock is gone. It was a transient hold, most likely Windows Defender Explorer scanning the file after WinDeploy Qt copied it. A well-known WinDeploy Qt race on Windows. Nothing in my code is wrong. You see that? Nothing in my code is wrong. Just rerun the build install target. It should succeed now. If it recurs, options to make it reliable. Add a retry in your build flow. I'm definitely not going to do that. If I do something like this, it's going in the CMake script. Exclude the build install directory from Defender real-time scanning. That I could do. To be honest, I'm not 100% sure, but I don't think I am going to implement a virus or try and take advantage of a security vulnerability inside my game. I don't think. So it probably would be okay if I excluded my game from being scanned. Make sure unless someone sneaks in a security vulnerability, like an exploit into Qt itself, that would be nuts. Make sure no Briarthorn executable from the same installed bin is still running before the install step. Try the build again. All right, let's try this again. Does it really think it's the scanner? How do I... I'm going to do this over here. I saw the article post where GitHub Copilot is coming to Windows Terminal. Add MP preference exclusion path dev Briarthorn build. Done. All right, I'm going to close this window and reopen it and see what happens. I was just showing my other project. It's not the one I want to show. There we go. Recently switched jobs, a lot of C++. I'm coming from other languages. Any advice for C++ specific caveats to learn? Whoo! Yes, I do have something for you. I fully think anyone learning or getting involved in C++, this needs to be one of, maybe not the first stop, but one of your stops to learning C++. And it's called the CPP Core Guidelines. isocpp.github.io. CPP Core Guidelines. So if you ever have a question, I don't know if anyone here has found me through my YouTube short about Rule of 5. I didn't make it up. Rule of 5 exists. It's a real thing, and it solves real problems by following it. You can find that in here. I think. What if I just lied to you guys? This is known as the Rule of 5. So you'll see why you should, if you define or delete any copy, move, or destructor function, define or delete them all. And it gives you a reason. It gives you an example of how not to do it. It gives you an example of how to do it. And it gives you like more notes on edge cases, why you should be doing this, how you go about enforcing it in your code base, that kind of thing. This, I think, would be huge for anyone starting out to know. And you don't need to memorize this stuff. Just know it exists, okay? And then be like, "Oh, hey, while you're in the middle of writing code, I wonder if there's a better way to do this." Then you just hop over here and do a search for your code and see if there's something that covers what you're working on. Now, if you want to enforce it, you can do that through your software pipelines, your CI/CD pipelines, GitHub Actions, GitLab CI/CD. That's what I do. And the way you do that is you use a tool called Clang Tidy. Clang Tidy has a feature flag you can turn on for explicitly called CPP Core Guidelines. So it makes sure that the code you write adheres to this. It's not exactly one-to-one, but this is like setting up these static analysis tools is what gets you the more secure, the more code memory safe way of writing C++ that using something like Rust would get you. So it'll be just as painful. So if you've never written code like this with these tools, you're in for a doozy, because it's a completely different way of writing code, and you really have to think about how you implement your code to be safe, easy to use, hard to use incorrectly, that kind of thing. Yeah, I see that a lot online. Like, where do I start? I want to write code. Where do I start? And the answer is going to be different for every person. You need to start with something that interests you. And it can't just be coding. It's, do you like video games? Do you like mobile apps? Do you like I don't know, do you like chat messaging? Do you like gosh, what else out there? There's so much you could do. Do you like spreadsheets? That kind of thing. There's got to be something that drives your interest. You need to take that interest and use it to motivate you to write code. I started on a calculator. Give me one sec. I wonder if I still have it. I do not. So I'll show you. You see this thing right here? I don't know if this is still a thing in school or not, but this is a graphing calculator. And this graphing calculator lets you go in and write code in BASIC. So this is what I got started in. I had a hand-me-down graphing calculator, and I was taking honors math, and the teacher didn't require you to show your work. Let's go. So what I would do is I would program like math equations. You remember the quadratic equation? Oh man, do I remember the quadratic equation? What is it? It's like negative b plus or minus the square root of, oh my god, negative b plus or minus the square root of, isn't it like 4ac minus b squared over 2a? Oh my god, did I get that right? Holy sh... Hang on. Did I get that right? Ooh. Wait, where is it? Negative b plus... Oh, I had this backwards. I had it backwards. It's negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. I think I said 4ac minus b squared. Dang it. So close. But anyway, I took this equation and programmed it into this graphing calculator, and all I had to do was ask me what A was, what B was, what C was, hit enter, and it like gave me the answer, right? Because I programmed it to. Like, this is kind of what got me started. This and HTML for Dummies, you know, the big for dummy yellow books. So that's really what got me started. And I hate to say it because everyone else tells you this too. You just do it. You just find something and you just do it. For me, it was reading a book. Like Reddit didn't exist back in the day. I had AOL.com. I had dial-up. So knowledge was few and far between for me as a young kid, a very young kid. I want to reiterate, I am not that old. I am still in my 30s, people. But anyway, I had dial-up, and so I kind of just had to find the knowledge I could when I can, and I was fortunate enough that my dad would buy me a book on HTML or a book on programming or BASIC, and I was able to use those books to learn. So that's kind of how I got started with programming. I didn't really like get head down expert programmer until after school. Only until like I didn't really start to understand what it took to write production ready code, if you will, until I had someone above me, someone with more experience, who could sit there and code review and explain why I should write code a certain way. Only until that happened did it not like click, like, oh, wait a minute. There's so much more to this than just programming. It's actual like engineering. It's paying attention to computer science and how a computer works. And then from there, it became more about me personally. Just go on Reddit, read articles, go on YouTube, watch CPP conference videos, watch other CPP con videos. One of my favorite YouTube videos is by a guy named Sean Parent from, I think he's from Adobe or something like that. Had a really cool talk on like runtime. Oh man, what was it called? It was some type of polymorphism, but it wasn't virtual inheritance. It was, I forget what it was called, but it was a really cool video. It's a very popular video of his, so it'd be easy to find if anyone ever wanted to look it up. But if you still need guidance on where to start, me personally, I like to get new developers involved by a couple of ways. Use CMake. Even if you read online how much it sucks to use CMake or how terrible CMake is, use it. Okay? As as much as people complain about it, it is still pretty much the de facto way to configure and build your project. Because if you can use CMake, then you will be able to use just about any other open source C++ project out there. Conan and VC Package, the two big package managers for C++, they integrate with CMake. Use CMake. So I would use CMake. I would find a graphics library. That could be Raylib, SFML, SDL. SDL is a little bit more advanced, but you could still get away with it. But SDL, Raylib, SFML, and there's a couple other ones out there. Clone that from GitHub and see if you can compile it. If you can compile it, the next step is, can you figure out how to link it into your project, include their header files, and use it? So that's usually what I would have like a new software developer do, is just find like a small GitHub repo to build and link into your own project, because then it's more than just writing code. It's learning about tool chains, the different compilers you're using, right? Like, oh, I'm going to clone this and get it up and running on Windows. Wait a minute. How the hell do I even compile this? CMake says it can't find Visual Studio. Oh, I guess that means I need Visual Studio. Okay, I'm going to Google Visual Studio. I'm going to grab the Community Edition because it's free, and I don't want to spend money because that's dumb, right? So there's ways to do that. Oh, Linux. Oh, CMake can't find GCC. All right, apt install GCC, or yum install, or DNF install GCC. Problem solved. So there's ways to like figure it out as you're going, right? And that's what I would do. Just figure it out as you're going. I mean, you can follow a tutorial. Tutorials will help you. I don't think tutorials will help set the solution in stone until you've spent a week trying to figure out how to compile a stupid open source library because the documentation is so poor, and then another week figuring out how to link that library into your project. Will you not like have it set in stone and you'll be able to remember it, right? Now do that over the course of 15 years, 40 hours a day, you know, that kind of thing. And at that point, you're a professional. That's basically all it takes. All right, what did I say I was doing? I wanted to get this up and running like my Briarthorn game. Oh, wait, I reloaded. Did this work? It did not work. What the heck, man? No, I don't think it it depends. Like the programming language you pick, I don't think it matters necessarily. I would say any system level programming language would be the way to go. So what I mean by that is a programming language that will compile to native code for a given operating system. That could be C, which is like the language that all other languages are built on top of. C++, of course. Rust, Zig. What else is there? What else? I think Go. Odin. I think Odin's a really new language. I'm aware of it. I haven't tried it. What else? What else you got? I probably, me personally, because I have a bias, I probably would not do something like Fortran. But something that like something that makes you pay attention to how you are allocating memory and cleaning up memory. So maybe not Go, because my understanding is Go does garbage collection. But I would at least be aware that those languages exist and that you've at least tried to build some kind of application with it. Oh, I don't think I knew Odin was that old. I've only heard it like I don't think because I learned of Zig a couple years ago, and once I learned of Zig, I started to pay attention to other new languages coming out, and I think that was probably around when I learned of Odin. But I haven't kept up with it. I just know it exists. All right, so that didn't work. I added the exclusion path, reloaded VS Code. I still get the error. Freaking GitHub updated their Copilot usage policies, so I have to be like very careful how often I query AI right now. Otherwise, I'm gonna accidentally charge like $1,000. I mean, I have it limited, of course, but it's kind of insane. I don't know if anyone's paid attention to some of the Reddit posts out there of people like, yeah, I'm only paying $40 a month, and here's how many tokens I used, and it's saying it's gonna cost me $30,000 a month after today. I wonder if there's just a general permission issue. Oh, Defender exclusion sometimes doesn't apply until services are restarted. Does that mean I have to like files not currently locked, the lock is transient. That's a classic. Another scanner is touching. Restart Defender. Can I just turn Defender off? Do we even know if this is a real issue? Confirm build is in the listed exclusions. If Defender refuses to restart. Alright, let me try this. Wonder why this is an issue now. This didn't used to be an issue. Cannot be stopped due to the following. Cannot open WinDefend service on computer. Check for protection updates. View security dashboard. Can I turn this off? Oh well. I mean, does it install? If it installs, I'm not going to worry about it. Does it run? Hang on. This might be a no op. This might be like just an annoyance. Nope, it doesn't run. It needs this Qt Quick plugin. Take care. Oh, it's a very much a Windows issue, and it's also kind of a Qt issue because Qt is plugin based. So what the application is trying to do is package up the plugins and dependencies that my application specifically needs for QML to work, so that when it installs it, it ends up in these subfolders, these plugin folders. Well, apparently one of the plugins is like something else is scanning it or reading it, like taking a lock on it, which is preventing the installation from completing. And having used Qt for as long as I have, I've not ran into this issue before. Like, this was working with Alwyn, because I was playing around with Alwyn doing this exact same thing 2 weeks ago. But it could be anything. It could have been a Windows update. It could be, I am using a newer version of Qt, so maybe something changed with the way they scan things. Control panel, indexing options. I don't want to deal with any of this. Restart service. This didn't work. Confirm build is in the list of exclusion. Find out what's actually holding it. Let's try this. The term handle is not recognized as the name of a commandlet. Oh, I have to use wingit install Microsoft sysinternals handle. Whatever process name appears is the real culprit. Exclude that. Okay. Wingit install Microsoft.sysinternals.handle. Found handle version 5.0. This application is licensed to you by its owner. Microsoft is not responsible for nor does it grant any license to third-party packages. Okay. Do I need to relaunch? Okay, it's not wanting to run, or it is running and it's thinking. It's annoying. Paste anyway. Okay. I didn't like that. Command not found. Okay. So the term handle. Oh, you know what? It might be a capital H. Oh, I might also need to close the window and reopen it because I just installed it. Just thinking about it. What are we making? I'll show you what we're making. I created a prototype game called Briarthorn using Godot, a video game game engine. Scripted up. You fly an aircraft, you shoot missiles, you fight enemies. You have no idea if those enemies are going to be good guys or bad guys unless your radar is able to pick them up and let you know. So there's going to be like challenges and maybe some puzzles you have to figure out while you're in the middle of combat. We'll see. A lot of this is TBD as I'm still exploring. I am porting this over to C++ using Qt Quick, QML as of today. So in my prior streams, we did a lot of coding exploration, how to, that kind of thing. Today, literally an hour ago, not even an hour ago, 40 minutes ago, I have decided to use Qt. So that's what we're working on. No matching handles found. All right. This is being so freaking dumb. Everything compiles. I do. I need to I wonder there is probably something I can do to just have this up, maybe like off to the left or something or above my head and have it like explain what's happening, that kind of thing. No, it's still failing. It's still failing. Hey Mesh, I'm just well right now I'm just banging my head against a stupid error that shouldn't even be happening right now. You know what I'm going to try and do? Maybe I'll remove Qt6 QML Qt Quick plugin. Maybe there's like a different issue going on here. Qt6 QML. I'm just going to delete this. What in tarnations is happening? CMake error. Qt Labs platform plugin. Oh, wait. It's failing. Dude. I might need to check GitHub, see if this is like a known issue. If it is, I think my solution is to downrank the version I'm using. Because I am using a fairly new version. I'm on an unstable. Unstable? Instable? Unstable? I'm on an unstable commit. So that might be part of the problem as well. Yeah, this is cannot remove existing plugin DLL. The process cannot access the file because it's being used by another process. That makes me think there's an issue with Qt with their deployment tool. So Qt has a deployment tool that runs during this. So we need to see if anyone's reported this. September 25, that's not it. This is newer. Linking against Qt libraries. No, these are all. Build failure for Qt3D. Update. No. All right, I guess I'm out of options here, so I think the next step, which kind of sucks because this is kind of watching paint dry, so maybe we'll play some Wordle or something. So I am going to change the version of VC package that I'm on, which is a bummer because there is a reason I want 6.11, so this is the commit I'm on. 6.11 introduced a very clean way to style your UI through configuration. That is so much simpler than what it used to be, which is one of the things I wanted to solve for my game, is to give the user the option to configure the look and feel of their game. So I can't use that yet. So let's find a stable. I think this also comes with 6.11, so maybe I'll go back to a version I know works. Which was it March? What was I using for Awin? I think it was March. I guess I could try this. So here's an April version. So let's check this one out. I still have Awin, so I can also look to see if there was something else I did there. Maybe I'm forgetting something. But this will cause a brand new build to happen when I configure. Ooh. Or it won't like that at all. Programming's dumb. Whoever's here to see someone have fun and enjoy programming and all of the things you can do with it, you come to the wrong place. Programming is dumb. Don't let anyone else tell you otherwise. Oh my god, this is so stupid. Why is this not working? What am I forgetting? What am I forgetting? I deleted the build folder. What am I forgetting? I need to... I'm forgetting something. Guess I can go ahead and delete these. There we... Oh, what the hell is going on? Qt base 610.2 does not have required feature when deploy Qt needed by... Oh. This is something I was doing differently. So maybe this is the problem. Hang on. So I don't want this. I don't need this. Host is true. Maybe that's the problem. So yeah, this could very well be an issue with 6.11. Did the Qt finish installation seem to load quite long? I'm fairly certain the issue revolves around that Windows deploy Qt executable. I am guessing Qt 6.11 made updates to how the WinDeploy Qt works, and how it works is either just wrong or it's interfering with my Windows Defender or something like that. I can't say for sure without debugging. I am hoping going back to an older version of Qt means an older version of that WinDeploy executable, which means I go back to a working state, which I'm comfortable with. The downside here is, oh, this is only building 16. Wait, it should be building, no, we're doing debug release. Huh, I'm not going to question it. The other thing I need to get fixed is the QML language server, which I think I can do with qml.ini files. Oh man, this example doesn't have it. Are you kidding me? Oh wait, it's a flag. Wait for it. Wait for it. I include my fix up. I find Qt. I set up the standard project. Ooh, we're gonna be on 610. Then I need to do this, which will handle automatically generating .ini files, which will support the language server for QML. And then I'll just be able to script, I think, assuming everything else works. There's always that risk when it's called living at head when it comes to software, because you're like always at the head commit. Yes, you get the benefit of the latest bug fixes, patches, updates, maybe performance improvements, but on the other side of that coin, you get performance regression, you get bugs, because you're like the first one to actually start using it, so no one's had time to give the software developers feedback to get things fixed. So there's always that risk, but it's kind of how I have done software for the past 7 years at this point. Basically since 2019, I've almost exclusively have tried to stay up to date with software patches. Because nothing, I don't know about you guys, but nothing is worse than having to update your entire software suite like every 6 years or something like that. It is such a Herculean task to get your APIs updated to match the latest versions, or maybe a new major version came out that completely breaks everything you've done. And it is so much harder to make those changes if you're not changing the code with it. So there's always a trade-off, right? That makes sense. I think that makes sense. If you just stick to whatever the latest software packages come with your Linux repo, I think that's fine. Now, I think that's fine if you are continuously updating your Linux repos. You don't want to be like stuck on a Linux repo that's 10 years old. Unless you have like a dire need to do it. Maybe there's just like some esoteric hardware that you're running on that no software has been written for in 10 years. Oh God, I can't even imagine. Please tell me you're backing up your thesis somewhere. Okay, so this is gonna take a second to build. Let's do some Wordle. I don't have anything else to do right now. I was just waiting for things to build. Not a good start. I will say that is not a great start. Um, all right, how do I get the other three vowels? So there's quit. Ooh, quiet. Oh, E already is taken. Uh, quo. Hmm. Hmm. Unity. Ooh, I think this is a good word. This is gonna give me something. Gave me two somethings. Gave me two somethings. But what do you do if your hard drive fails, man? You got to back up your data. That's something that I have done forever at this point. I always have some kind of online or off-site backup. But I also always make sure I have like a separate data drive in case my operating system comes crashing down. I always have that second data drive. Oh, you already solved this. Okay. Yeah, don't spoil it. Unity. Okay, so what am I left with? I have a T and an N. Oh, I still have an O. Um, not, snot, lot. Can't be not. Nat. Can't be nat. Sock. Can't be sock. Don't. Dunth? Is it dunth? Oh, is it month? Are you kidding me? Oh, freaking T. Come on. Oh, that's annoying. I mean, I got O and H. That's good, but not a T. Interesting. Is it SH? It can't be NH, right? NH isn't a word. So NOTSH. I'm not happy about that one. I feel like I could have done better. Let's see. We are 14 of 16. All right, let's do the game I'm terrible at. This one I will probably need help with. Unless you already know the answer. Ray, jasmine, colorful bell, sticky, pasty, brown, sushi, gummy. Ari? Is that a word? Sugary, samosa. I don't know if I know this word either. Fattier, ursine, empanada, moan. Sugary, brown, colorful, jasmine. Sushi, bell. All right. Our build's almost done, so I might not make it in time. Ray, jasmine, colorful, sushi, moan, empanada, gummy brown, sushi, Ari, sticky, gummy, pasty. That's almost like it's like a shade of color almost. Isn't samosa a drink? I don't know what else it means. Ursine, isn't that? Ray, jasmine. Yeah, you're just picking 4 words that have some kind of relation. It could be rhyming. It could be the second letter is of every word is the same. It could be they're all a color. It could be all the words are missing their first letter, or each word completes a larger word. Sticky, pasty, gummy, sugary. Ooh, like snacks, like candy. Sticky, pasty. I mean, we're gonna try it. I don't have a better one. Ooh, okay. We weren't even one away. So if sometimes if we have 3 matching but the 4th one's wrong, it will let you know you're one away. Yeah, I'm not highly confident on pasty. I almost wonder if that's more of like a shade of color. Colorful. Ooh, is this like no. I was thinking this would be like Mexican meals, or you know, I don't know. What would moan go to? It's like a noise, right? A bell makes a noise. Is I This word looks familiar, but I don't remember what it is. I wonder if they make a noise. Oh, is fattier like, is that a food? Is this all it is? Is it literally food? Fattier, empanada, sushi, sticky brown, sugary, Ari. I don't know what Ari is. This one's hard. Moan, bell. Brown, pasty, Ray is like light or an arrow. A ray of sunshine. Ursine. This is like a bear, right? Or is that something else? Or am I thinking of Ursa? Ari, are these like these aren't oh oh my gosh. Um these aren't like astrology signs, are they? Samosa, sushi. You know what? I'm going for the food. No, I don't know what else this would go with though. We're one away. We're one away. So what's of these four, which one does not fit? The drink? Ray of light. Oh, this game makes me feel so dumb. Sushi, fattier, empanada. We have two more tries left. So we know we don't have to guess now. So we know of these four, three of them match. So we can kind of what we can do is be like shuffle this so they're lined up. Maybe. Come on. Maybe not. I guess there's too many options here. But basically, like, get them lined up so we know that this row is relatively close. Is Aria food? You know what? We're trying it because we're almost out of time. Ooh. Okay, so samosa was one away. All right, so now I'm back to thinking this is like Mexican. Empanada, samosa, sushi though? What else goes together? Jasmine. Jasmine has an odor. It could be a color. Brown. I don't know. This one's hard. I'm dumb. Gummy. This could also be like oh my god, my poor grammar's gonna show. Gummy, sticky, pasty. These or we already tried this, didn't we? I was gonna say these could be like adverbs, right? Like descriptor words. Ooh, are there any other flowers? Is Ari a flower? Is Ray a flower? A bellflower? You want to say hi, Trill? Huh? You want to say hi? No. Okay. Screw it. Let's see. Let's see what the answers were. Oh my god. Uh. Has anyone here ever heard of sticky rice? I would not have gotten this. I would not have gotten this. Hey, I think we were kind of on the right track. These were descriptor words. We just didn't pick the right words. Ursine. So that is bear-like. Gosh darn it. I don't think I would have gotten there. Savory stuffed pastries. What am I thinking? I think I was thinking of a mimosa, not a samosa. Here you go. This is where it gets hard, right? Disney princesses minus the last letter. Moana. What is this? Moana, Raya. Minus the last letter? I don't know these two. What are these Disney princess? Bella? Is there a Bella? These seem like newer Disney princesses that I might not be aware of. Ari? Ari? I don't even know what letter would come after E. Ari. I don't know. We tried. All right, we are almost done with getting Qt declarative built, which is important. Yeah, our Ariel, Moana, Raya. I don't know what. Who is Bella? What show is Bella from? Hey, come here, Trill. Trill, come on, come here, come here, come on, come here. All right, I am going to go see what Trill wants. This is almost done, and I will be right back. Come on, dude. He just needed me to walk him to his food. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. You guys see that Microsoft's releasing a WSLC project or application? So you have WSL, Windows Subsystem for Linux. Now you have WSLC, which is Windows Subsystem for Linux containers. So it looks like we're going to be able to run Docker containers via the WSLC command instead of what I do, which is I install a WSL environment like Ubuntu, and then I manually install Docker, and then when I use dev containers for my projects, it goes into the WSL environment and accesses its Docker system to run the dev container. But now it looks like we're just gonna be able to do it straight from the command line WSLC. So I'm kind of excited about that. That's not good. Project requires 611. Oh, I can fix that. I thought I fixed that already. Why is it yelling at me about 611? Did I not already fix that? Uh, Buffer, are you seeing the ad? I don't have control over it. I don't know what to do about it. I started averaging like 3 or 4 viewers a stream, and I guess that made me affiliate by default. And so now Twitch is like, here, have a bunch of ads. I'm a little annoyed by it. I don't know what to do about it. And I don't even know if you're hearing me say this because I don't know if you're like seeing an ad right now. Project requires a Qt minimum. Fair. Yeah, I don't know. Current version is only 6.10.2. What in the world is calling this? I'm on 6.10. Do I have something cached? Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Maybe I do have something cached. Is it this? No, that's good. If I delete the build folder, this specifies 6.10. Hmm. Now what's wrong? A downside to using a package manager sometimes is you just run into some of the weirdest errors. And this is probably still a Windows error. Windows has like a path length limit, which causes me to redirect output to a different location. But I wouldn't have this issue if I just used a installed version of Qt, for instance. This singer is Blackmore's Night. So it sounds like it's a group. So I don't know who the singer is directly. What is it even struggling with? I just wanted to write some code. I can't even get my dependencies up and running. I'm starting to agree with Odin's creator. We are about to enter dependency hell. We're going head first into dependency hell. That is for sure. Thanks, nice guy. I appreciate the good thoughts in what's about to become really bad thoughts. This makes no sense. I don't you know what? Hang on. All right, I'm going to cancel that. I'm going to delete the build folder. I'm going to close VS Code in case there's some weird like process error happening. Reopen. This is making me think something's going on with my computer. Something wrong with my computer? My hard drive about to die? My disk, my SSD has 78% usage right now. What is writing to my disk? What is this? I'm not doing anything. Oh, wait, you know what? I am recording. Surely recording doesn't use up that much. It might be because I'm recording. Or no, that's the C drive. I'm recording to my D drive. Look at this. This is the C drive. The only thing I have running on the C drive is VS Code and OBS. But I'm not writing to disk. I'm recording on the D drive. Because that's where my storage is. I have a 4 terabyte storage. All right. Something's wrong with my computer, guys. My computer's going down. Maybe this whole time it hasn't been QT or the version I'm on. It's... I gotta find out what's writing to disk. Oh, okay, we're back. So maybe it was VS Code. I'm back down to 2% usage. I don't know what's going on. I hate programming. All right, let's try debug. Windows taking screenshots of desktop. Oh my god, I hope not. That's like you guys saw a while back where like Windows was going to take screenshots of your desktop for AI like history search or whatever. So it's basically going to record everything you did in your computer so that any point you could just like search back through what you were doing at this point in time on this day. That was terrifying. What if they're actually doing that without you knowing it now? That would be insane. Like if you're developing an operating system and you wanted to do that, you could like, and you're the one who gave you the tools you need to read the processes of that operating system, you could just hide all that away. I forget what that was called. That wasn't part of like Cortana, was it? Or was it its own thing? Okay, this is dumb. This is just absolutely dumb. Is this an unstable version as well? I literally had this working. Expected token broken.qml. It is broken. Look at this. It's literally broken. But that's intended. It's literally called broken.qml. So why is it calling this out? Why is it even scanning it? All right, I'm getting an LLM involved in this one. This is so annoying. It's scanning or configuring my project with invalid QML tests. Find package Qt quick, Qt standard project setup. Set my output directory as my build directory. Generate QML INI files. And just make sure there's like nothing egregious I'm doing wrong here. Install. I don't know why, but when I configure my project with Qt, it seems to try and parse QML test files and becomes corrupt. CMake error, parse error, function missing end. This isn't my language server, right? Recall. I think you're right. The problem is clear. The Qt CMake infrastructure is scanning the entire declarative source tree, including its... Oh. I wonder if it's because I put stuff in this .vc package folder versus where it's used to being held, which is inside this VC package. Frickin' Windows, man. So I did this specifically because on Windows, you are limited to 256 characters for your file paths. And with a project as big as Qt that has a bunch of like subfolders of source code, you end up with longer than 256 character paths, which means your code fails to compile. So I redirected it to this directory, but for whatever reason, my CMake project is scanning this entire directory. And I have no idea what's doing that, or Qt CMake is doing that. Is it this? This looks fine. Would this have caused issues? This would not have caused issues with 6.11. Well, I wasn't having this issue with 6.11, so this seems to be a 6.10 issue. Oy vey. CMake, yeah, I agree. I mean, I've basically have been using CMake since day one of my career, so I'm just used to it. I think I could say that about C++ as well. I'm just used to it. I don't know better. I fear if I start trying out some other of these more modern languages, I'm gonna be like, oh wait, there's a better life you can have. It gets better, and then I will never want to come back. But I might want to wait to do that until after I retire. Now I understand the root cause. The QML import scanner is using root path Briarthorn, which makes it recursively scan all .qml files in the project directory, including the Qt declarative test data files in BT. Those test QML files have intentionally malformed syntax. Let me find the Qt CMake file that sets the root path. Yeah, see, this should only scan my QML folder. So I wonder if that's something I have to specify the import scanner. Where would that run? Would that be here? It's either here or here that the import scanner runs. And so I will need to point it to this QML folder instead of the entire project structure. Let's see what the LLM does. Oh no. I don't like the solution it's going with. The build trees are inside the project, blah blah blah. You know, there is something to be said about fighting through a really tough problem that's been causing nothing but issues, and then finally finding the solution and getting it implemented. I would miss that. But man, when I use a project like or a framework like Flutter, which is designed to work on all platforms kind of out of the box, and all I have to do is install a VS Code extension and it automatically gives me Flutter basically, and then I just hit play and it just works. Something to be said about that. I thought I was going to be writing some code today. At this rate, that's going to have to wait till Friday. But Friday, I think we're going to be doing Awin because I'm going to have a guest on to talk about the Lua integration. So at this point, it might be either this weekend or next week that I make progress. I mean, I might play with this in the evening, like on my own, just so I can make some progress because I do want to get a game going. But we'll see. Friday, yeah, it'll be a stream. But Jamal will be on Discord. He would join me in Discord. I would be streaming. I told him he's welcome to stream and join me. I don't know if that's what he wants to do or not, or if he has the setup to do it. Broken, you haven't missed much. You're not that late. I've just been fighting with dependency errors basically this entire time. Okay, so instead of waiting for the LLM, I think I know where I need to go. I need to look up Qt add. I might be able to specify import path. This might be what I need. Can be used to add to the search path. Oh, it adds to the search path. I want to change the search path. Default imports, that looks new. Resource prefix, maybe? No, that's not it either. Okay, fix QML import scanner support and exclude directory argument. I don't like that. Setting Qt QML import scanner extra args before add QML module. I feel like there's a better way to do this. There's got to be a better way. Got a question for me. Dissertation, GPS tracking. You want to use an Arduino? I don't know if Arduino is the best way or not. You might also look into what is it called? SDR, software defined radio. You might look into something like that. I mean, Arduino might work, assuming you can get like a GPS module you can attach to it. But I think a software defined radio might give you a little bit more bang for your buck. And you'll get to use it for a whole bunch of other. I mean, you could use an Arduino for just about anything you want to. So I guess it's pick your poison. Whatever's cheaper and easier to understand. You need something that has like a processor that'll run your code and an interface to connect to your GPS module. Oh, it didn't even work. Qt add QML module. All because Windows cannot frickin' handle 256 character paths. God, that's annoying. You know what? I have a new idea. New idea. It's slowly forming in my head. I think I know what I want to do to fix this. Wait for it. Wait for it. New ideas percolating. Let's move this back into the VC package folder. But we name it BT, because that'll actually be one character less. That way I can get rid of this. We'll get rid of this nonsense, which isn't even working. Hello, how's it going, Jamal? Yeah, I'm not a Arduino or a GPS expert by any means. I would just assume there would be some kind of module you could get that would plug into one of those devices. But I also am aware that like software defined radios work pretty well for stuff like that as well, I think. But I guess you don't really need that unless you're communicating by radio. Okay, so that solved the problem. All right, we're up and running. We are up and running. Problem solved. At least today. Okay. The last piece of this puzzle is I need to get the QML language server working. So it's not quite working here. I wonder. So there's a QML.ini file, so that's doing what it should. That's good. I wonder if I have to specify Qt quick. I guess I can make sure it runs as well. Look how smooth it is. So like I get stuff like that out of the box with Qt, whereas if I was just using Raylib, I wouldn't get nearly as smooth edges and lines because I would have to like write my own shaders to do that. So It just saves me a little bit of time. Instead, I spend all of my time fighting dependency management instead of actually writing code. That's the trade-off. And it's so much fun. Okay, so why is this not working? Oh, maybe it is. Warnings occurred while importing module. Failed to import the module. Are your import paths set up properly? Did you build your project? I am checking my Qt branch on Awin here to see if I did anything different. Okay, so I am not calling import here. I do link against Qt Quick. I do set this. All that looks good. QML files. Looks good. This shouldn't matter. Qt QML output directory, cmake binary directory slash QML. So that's just to make sure my files end up in here, which they do. I wonder if add QML module. Core quick. Yeah, I'm not really doing anything different. Okay. So why do you no work? Does it work now? It works now. Let's go. All right, cool. I just had to restart the language server. So the industry I'm in, a lot of people think that Qt is just for like desktop widgets, so like the old way of doing things, and it's like Qt. I don't know if Qt was specifically built for KDE, but KDE was built using Qt, which is the desktop widgets you're used to thinking and seeing. Qt Quick or Qt Declarative, it's built on top of GPU rendering. So this is more in line with more modern application development. So you think of applications like Discord that look the same no matter what platform you're on, Windows, Linux, Mac, your phone. That's kind of where Qt Quick comes into play. You can definitely make games with it. Is it going to be the most performant solution? It depends what kind of game you're going to make. I think it'll be perfectly fine for what I'm going to do, especially because it's fairly easy for me to just implement whatever I need in C++ and only expose the connecting pieces in QML. It also supports JavaScript, so if anyone's a fan of JavaScript out there, it supports that. You can literally like import JavaScript modules and everything. It's great. It's really good. It's well, we're gonna try to avoid that as much as I can. I might use it to script a bunch of stuff up quickly, just to see things working. But in all honesty, I'm okay with JavaScript, especially its syntax. For the most part, the issue is there's no like static typing, and so it's very easy for bugs to just like appear and you not know it. Yes, you can import suffering. Okay, so it also supports hot reloading, so I want to get that up and running again because we did get that working with Awin, and now that I know that works, I need to remember how we did it. Because I think the tool is called QML Preview. QML Preview. Oh my god. I don't remember. Do I do this? All right, if this works, we're going to see something happen. Dang it. Why'd that not work? We had this working before. What am I doing wrong? Did I have to specify? Oh, wait. No, I remember. We're going to do this. Where is it? Where is it? I currently am baking in the QML file into the code, but Qt also supports loading the QML file at like application startup. So instead of like building it as a module, I can load the text and have it parse the text and treat it like a configuration file. So with that, I should be able to do hot reloading. So let me find my example on that. Okay, so I need to do like engine.load QURL from local file. D dev Briarthorn QML main.qml, I think. Something like that. Why did my code format like this? Oh, shoot. Shoot. Bang. I can fix this. I don't know about you guys, but I cannot write code anymore without automatic formatting while saving a file. I just can't do it. Why not full screen? Because a lot of people, for whatever reason, no hate. I appreciate anyone who comes by, but a lot of people are watching me through a vertical YouTube short like live stream instead of like the 16:9 horizontal desktop. And I don't have a good way to set up my dev environment to support that vertical display and the horizontal display at the same time. If I could find a way to do it, I would just do. I would just like I would maximize it and kind of put myself in the bottom corner of the display, kind of thing. But until I come up with a better solution, which I honestly haven't put too much thought in yet. There we go. Okay. Whew. All right, let's build this and see if we get hot reloading working. Yep, I gotta. I mean, you know, someday it might become that the doom scrollers are paying my bills, so I got to make sure I support the doom scrollers. Boom. I mean, it closes the window, but there might be a way, I forget someone mentioned it, but there might be a way where I can set this up to where I'm basically only changing the contents of a loaded QML file versus the window itself to cause the entire window to reload. If I can get it to just reload like game state, for instance, we can get hot reloading working that way. But this is a start for sure. So what I need to do now is I need to run my Briarthorn application to find the colors. Which is somewhere. You know, I'll just pull it from the website, right? HTTPS briarthorn.game. All right. So I need this background color to start with. What is that? Windows Shift S, and then do color picker. You guys can't really see that, can you? Nope. All right. So I'm going to pick the color, and then I'm going to paste it here. So then I should be able to run the application. All right. So we've got the dark green background for my Briarthorn game. Any idea how PyQt is different from the CPP one? I mean, I think under the hood, it's still running C++. It's just you're using Python to interface with it. I think that's the big difference, right? Python to do the scripting for you instead of JavaScript, I'm assuming. I'm also assuming that with Python, you could still like modify QML files directly, which means you would probably still be able to use JavaScript. But I don't know. I've never used the Python version of Qt myself. I have always done C++. Okay, so cool. So now what do I need? With this, I had a rectangle with borders on top. What would you guys say that is? Is that about 60% wide? So okay, so I'm gonna clean this up. Let's get rid of okay, this hot reload is sick. Oh my god. I don't know. I've used Godot. Godot is awesome. It's not for me. Being able to do all my editing inline in VS Code and just be able to hit save and automatically reload my application. And this is C++ based, where I can easily write C++ when I need to. It's kind of hard to beat. I need to get the color of the range ring as well. I gotta zoom in. I gotta look. Okay. All right, so the color of the range ring is here. Does that work? Oh, let's freaking go. Guys, look at this. I've been trying to make code so I could build a game for the past, like, what, 2-3 weeks? And I'm already further than I've ever been with Qt. Okay, so what else do we need? Just so you're aware, I do have a horizontal view as well. So anyone on YouTube currently watching me in vertical, just click on my icon for my channel, go to live, and there's also a horizontal. I'm wondering if that is confusing for people, and if it would be better if I just picked one and stuck with it. I honestly don't know. I think I talked about trying this out. Maybe I should try this out. And then that way I can go full screen and we get a little bit more text and whatnot. It's definitely something I can play around with for sure. We'll figure it out. Someday I will become a mediocre live streamer. Today is not that day. Okay, so we need the rectangle boxes, right? and I need to know what colors those are. Okay, got it. So a rectangle. So we do a rectangle. Oh my god, it even knows I want transparent with a border color. Tab. Let's see what it looks like. Oh, holy crap, it put it around the entire... I mean, we're getting there. We'll put it here, though. The color, it did not grab. I need to get the color. Okay, good. So now I need to make the rectangle not fill the parent. The rectangle's width needs to be parent.width times 0.6, and its height needs to be parent.height. I love declarative programming as well, by the way. Boom. Guys, we're so much closer to getting my game up and running now. You're not wrong. You do not get to see the pets in vertical mode. Or not as well. Actually, I don't even have the pets up. Where are my pets at? Wait a minute. They were squished. We squished my pets. Vertical kind of sees the pets a little bit. Okay. So that is that right? Is 60% what I want? Anyway. So this actually, what I need to do is I need to use layouts. Instead of semi-hard coding these values, I need to use layouts. So I need a horizontal, or is that row? It might be row. Let's do row. Ew. Row needs to be anchors dot fill parent. There we go. This needs to go away. Oh shoot. Row is just for positioning. So maybe I actually do need layout. Which is what? Import qt quick dot layouts? Ooh, we didn't like that. Row layout. Did it crash? Q quick layout plugin not found. Am I doing that wrong? Do I just not have the plugin? It's right here. Ooh, there's nothing here. Wonder why there's nothing there. Imports Qt Quick Layouts, Qt Quick Layouts plugin. No particles. Wonder if there's a feature I need to turn on. Yeah, this is what I want. We'll do it later. We'll worry about it later. I can fix that later. We can just use percentages for now. Parent, 60%. Maybe it needs to be 55%. Parent.height. Or 65%. And then we do another rectangle. Except this is parent.height times 0.5. And then we do another rectangle. This is my dream with Awin, but using like Lua or something like that. Because QT is a little heavy-handed, and it would be cool if I had an actual like C++ game engine that let you bleh, I can't speak, that lets you do like hot reloading development like this, where you can as a developer just sit there and either script up some Lua or write some C++ without having to like jump around all these hoops to get things up and running. I want it to be very easy as a developer to be able to do this kind of stuff. That is smooth. Okay. So then, if I want another range ring, I can add one here, but I need to shrink it. Its radius needs to be... There we go. Something like that, right? Now the difference is we need to do arc length so that as the rings expand, the gap between the ring doesn't expand with it. So if we have a constant arc length, as the radius increases, that arc length stays the same. That would probably be something I would use an LLM for, right? That's not really a lot of code generation. It's just, hey, do some simple math for me. Anyone remember what arc length is? It's like S equals R times theta. Is that it? And then we would want to anchor. We would want to figure out a way to put some text here as well. So what color am I using text? White. Ooh, I didn't like that. Okay. Oh, what do we have to do? If we're positioning our text based on radius, that's like sine and cosine, right? Which means I need this radius as like a property. Property float, I guess real. Radius. Wait, it didn't like that? Oh, it didn't like that. Okay. So then I can do like ID. Is this the inner or outer ring? Outer arc, that works. Okay. Oh, it didn't like that either. Oh, there we go. Okay. So X is, oh gosh, I don't remember my trig. X is cosine, I think. So what is that? Radius, cosine. We need the angle. We need the angle and the radius. What's the angle? Start angle, end angle. I need the midpoint between the start and end angle. Start angle. Okay, so we're gonna do like property. Okay, start end angle. So then I want my angle to be outer arc dot. Oh, yeah, that. It already knows what I want to do. So then I want X to be. Is it going to know what I want here? Outer arc dot width divided by 2 plus the cosine of the angle times the radius minus width. Oh, I know why it's doing that. Because I didn't center it. So I do want to anchor it. So anchor dot center into the parent. So that handles. No, that's not going to work. No, that's not going to work. So I do have to apply the. Ooh, missed it by that much. Oh, you guys can't see it. How do I help make it so you guys can see this better? What's the best way to do this? I think that's better than nothing. All right. So I'm trying to get this text. Do you see the Briarthorn window now above my head? So I'm trying to position this text inside the gap here. That's my goal. The text is positioned based on. This doesn't quite work. Is this the issue? No. Outer arc dot width. I could just do outer arc dot x, outer arc dot y. No, that doesn't work. Centered in the parent. Oh, but the x and y position still top left corner. So one of the issues I end up running into is because Qt is a GUI first framework. All of these elements being drawn, their position is relative to the top left corner. So if I ever want to position something based on like the center of it, I have to handle manually translating that. Text font dot pixel size. Okay. It is off by a few degrees. I don't know why. The start angle is 30. The end angle is 40. $30 to 40. So then I would expect to end up at 35, but it looks like I'm ending up at essentially 40. Now, there's a way to. Oh man, can I debug QML with this? Is there a way to do this? There has to be a way to do this. There's a QML profiler. There's the previewer, which is what I'm using. There's a test runner, import scanner, formatter. Is there a debugger? There's got to be a way to do it. Is it built into the extensions? Syntax highlighting, code completion, linting. Oh, it doesn't say debugging. Debugger support, but last updated 4 years ago. Beta release. Okay, so maybe not. I might have to use Qt Creator for that. I could also just do print debugging. But anyway, we're doing end angle minus start angle. Oh, wait a minute. I think I need to do... I think I still need to do all of this. Or no, this is already in radians. I'm going to manually do it and see if it gets me what I need. So this should be 35 minus 90. Oh, that is... So the part of the issue, I think... Well, no, we're doing width divided by 2. Oh, but this doesn't have a width and a height. I don't know how to... I need to, like, center align the text. Or I need to shift the text. Which is what this is trying to do, but I don't think width and height is a value. So we need to take... Oops. I'm not sure that has a value. Sure. Yeah, that's what I thought. This isn't great. Horizontal alignment. Dang it. Yeah, this is the downside of top left corner aligned objects. I don't know how to find the size of the text. Here, it's time. We're bringing out the guns. I need to render the text as if its origin is in the center of the text. Simply using width divided by 2 and height divided by 2 isn't enough because that doesn't describe the size of the rendered text. Let's see what it does. Okay. That helped. Let me remove this adjustment and see what that does. It moves it more. If I comment this out, what happens? Nothing happens. Yeah, that's what I thought. It just doesn't know. I have to bake it into the X and Y. Pixel size is 24. That's no. Is there a font size? Hang on. Maybe there's like a read-only property I can grab. Font family, hinting preference, because maybe I can grab like the font family and grab all of this to figure out what the actual size of the object is. HTML text, size of text. Painted width, painted height. Is that a thing? Freaking AI lying to you, man. The actual space the text geometry takes up when rendered, unless I'm... It's saying it grabbed it from this documentation. Painted. Painted. Yeah, that's a lie if I've ever seen one. Minus painted. No way. $35. Start angle of 30. End angle of 40. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Outer arc width divided by 2. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's not complaining about it. So maybe there's something there that I'm not aware of. Like if I did label dot, does it yell at me about it? No, I mean, it reloads. Maybe that's something that's not documented. Oh, painted width and height. It might not be a part of text. It might be a part of inherited by, inherits item. No. I don't know. No idea. Oh man, I didn't realize what time it was. We're almost done. I don't want to be almost done. I just got started. But I also got to keep my sanity. All right, I think dang it. I'm actually like making progress. Finally. Oh, we're finally making progress, guys. I'm actually really excited about this. I think off stream, some of the things I'm going to work on is pipeline stuff, making sure I have a solid foundation, making sure my dev containers has all the dependencies they need for Qt. What else? I want to at least get the range ring stuff figured out, get the tick marks, the text. I want to try and get all that in before next stream. And maybe try and sketch out how I want to manage the data, whether I'm going to do like a model view controller pattern where I just have like a collection of data that I feed a view, things like that. And then there's other stuff we have to figure out. We're have to figure out projection math, going from world coordinates to a radial, like almost like a polar coordinate display, so that the entities show up on the radar in like a circular pattern around like the player. We're gonna have to figure all that out. Oh man, I'm excited. This is we've actually got something up and running, and it's something I strongly recommend anyone else looking to get into a project and is looking to learn. Don't do what I was doing. Don't sit there and like come up with this big grand plan, but then you start implementing it and you don't make any like visual progress. You don't make anything that helps motivate you. You really should just hit the ground running, get something visual going, like work towards building your project versus working towards building your architecture, even though that's something I just enjoy doing. Really get something up and running and in front of you, right? Tomorrow may or may not even be on. Tomorrow I usually do some kind of game. Not some kind of game. It's Baldur's Gate. We're getting really far in Baldur's Gate now. I'm hoping to be done here in the next week or two. But tomorrow I am disassembling my desk as I sold it to a friend because I'm getting a bigger desk. So I will be probably in the process of basically tearing all this down. Friday, I'm hoping to be stood back up at least at my other desk if I can. Hoping to have a guest. Jamal should be coming back, and we will talk about what it looks like to integrate Lua into the C++ project, and also how to maybe come up with a way to generically solve integrating Lua so we don't have to manually write and encode our types every time you create a new type, because it'd be cooler and nicer if I can just derive from my core object from Awin and automatically have it support Lua without having to write any extra code. So I'm going to talk to Jamal about that, hopefully on stream. It's all dependent on if he's available or not. But look forward to that Friday. If he's not available, then I'm just going to go right back to getting Briarthorn and QML, because Friday is my long stream, so I'll be able to just sit down and really knock out a bunch, hopefully. We'll see. But yeah, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for watching me bang my head against the wall with this project, but we finally got it up and running, so we're looking to make some real progress now. Until next time, have a good evening. I'll see you guys.